Hello everyone, welcome back to Agri-Farming. If you are new here, welcome to Agri-Farming. Today, let's discuss about aquaponics. Please like and subscribe to this channel and please ring the bell button to notify you whenever new video is uploaded. First of all, let's understand what is aquaponics. Aquaponics is an aquaculture system in which the waste which are produced by fish or any other aquaponic creatures will act as nutrients to plants which are grown in a hydroponic way, which helps in the purification of water. As aquaponics is a process which can replicate the ecosystem easily, you can build an aquaponics system on your own, which will work just like any other aquaponics system which is set commercially. To prepare your own aquaponic garden setup, you should know some basic components of aquaponics. Let's get into it. The first is aquaponic garden setup design. Components required for basic aquaponics setup will be mentioned here. In this video, we will show you how to build an aquaponic system in your garden. Each and every aquaponic system design will consist of the components which have been mentioned below. There are several options to include these components which will help in customization of the system. For instance, most of the human beings in cold weathers will choose to build their own aquaponic system in a greenhouse in order to run it successfully all around the year. For starting an aquaponic garden, you can also buy the aquaponic kits for sale. The first component is tank. Theoretically, an aquaponic system which is tuned in a good manner will be able to provide support to 1 pound of fish which per 1 gallon of water. When you are just starting an aquaponic garden, it is always better to plan on stocking 1 fish per 10 gallon of water in order to ensure that the system is not out of balance. Moreover, with this, the fish will also have a larger amount of space so that they can swim. Most of the aquaponic fish tank DIY will initiate either with a barrel of 55 gallon or with a square bin with a capacity of 225 gallons, 2 food grade tanks with standard size which are obtained easily by recycling from the industry of food. Always ensure that they are used to hold gentle things like soy sauce instead of some which is poisonous which might have left the residue. If you are planning aquaponic garden above the ground, then vinyl swimming pools are the best choice for the tanks which is larger. The second component is grow beds. The vegetables which always require some kind of container which is resistant to water in order to keep the soilness medium in which they will be raised. There are several products which are available solely for this purpose, but there is somewhat less approach to aquaponic DIY. The easy route for this is to build wooden box which are shallow, that is with a depth of at least 10 inches, same as beds which are ordinarily raised for the sake of vegetables, and line them up with the help of pond liner. Each and every bed is filled with growing medium which is inert like the ones which are very light and lets the beds to be elevated off the ground, or find gravel from your landscape supplier who is present in your locality. Cocoa coir is one of the fastest growing mediums these days and is mostly used by experts for its capability of retainment of air and moisture parallelly. A combination of the same amounts of all the 3 products is the best formula for experimenting. You can also take a decision of injecting fertilizers in the growing area up to 10 times the area of the surface of the fish tank. The next component is hardware and pumps of aquaponic garden setup. The specialty of an aquaponic system is the plants will involve in the filtration of the products which are not necessary to the fish tank, by letting them survive even without adding fresh water, whereas the nutrients present in the wastewater will act as fertilizer for most of the vegetables and herbs which are growing. Hence, a pump is required for the circulation of water in between the two components and also to create a system which is self-sustainable. If you have chosen for the installation of pump which runs on solar energy, then your aquaponics will be almost self-sufficient. Pipes and pumps are the ones which make the aquaponic system look tricky. If you are not aware of basic plumbing and electrical skills, you will have to find someone close to you to do that for you. The pump will help in the collection of water which is draining from the grow beds and will put that water back into the tank. Instead of this, a pump can also be placed at the tank bottom and can be used to spread the water on the grow bed surface. The beds will require a network of PVCs for themselves on the surface for the distribution of water from fish tank. You can drill holes of a 1 by 4 inch for every 6 inches in the pipe and indulge yourself in the structuring of beds with many parallel pipes, each of them 12 inches apart from each other. You can also plant a seedling 1 whole inch in a PVC pipe. There is another critical hardware piece to create an aquaponic system and make it work. That is aerator, and it will help you to provide a sufficient amount of oxygen for the fish in your fish tank. The next is fish in aquaponic garden setup. Tilapia are the species which are most commonly used in the small-scale systems of aquaculture. They are the species which can be grown in the tropical climates and will require the temperature of water at a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius in order for them to stay healthy and also to grow in a rapid way. They are also used because of their ability to tolerate the stocking densities which are high and also the water conditions which are not perfect. Moreover, they also have a very good rate of growth which makes them reach a harvestable size of 1 pound in about 6 months. Hence, in climatic conditions which are temperate, it is always possible to stock the fish tank with fingerlings in the month of May. Catfish are also one of the species of fish which are suitable for the recirculation system of aquaculture, which are of high density and have no issues with too much cooler climates, even though they are made to start growing in warm waters. Yellow perch are another common species of fish which are used in the aquaponic system. The advantage of this fish is that it has the ability to grow in waters which are cooler. The next point is plants in aquaponic garden setup. Few food plants are very simple to grow in an aquaponic garden. Generally, anything which is harvested as a leaf such as kale, lettuce, spinach, basil, etc. will respond in a fine way to the nutrients which are found in fish water and can be usually grown without the additional supplements of nutrients. It is also possible to grow the species of plants which bear fruits like strawberries and vegetables like cucumbers, tomatoes, etc. But there will be need in supplemental fertilizers to grow. The next point is starting an aquaponic system. You can start an aquaponic garden by following the instructions given below. Irrespective of the size of your aquaponic system, whether it is large or small, the below mentioned information will be applicable to any sort of scenario in order to bring you the best results from your aquaponic garden. You will need to follow the below steps to start an aquaponic garden after you have completed the setup. You will require a flat and sunny space in order to set up your aquaponic garden. If you are not constructing it inside a greenhouse, you will have to put everything together early in the spring so that you can start stocking the fish immediately after the temperature of water is at 21 degrees Celsius. Adding grow medium. At the first step, you will need to add growth medium into the grow beds. It is highly recommended to make use of 3 by 4 inches of river rock. This is a solution which is less expensive, and adding to this, you will also get additional benefits like the introduction of worms into the aquaponic system. This is done because there will be eggs of worms available naturally in the rocks. Fill the grow bed in such a way that there are 10 inches of grow medium in the grow bed. Make sure that you are not filling more than 10 inches, as this will enhance the chances of anaerobic bacteria to grow, which will in turn cause death of the fish, microbes, and the plants in your aquaponic system. The next is addition of water. The next step after the addition of growth medium is the filling up of the fish tank with water. If you are making use of tap water to fill the aquaponic system, then you will be required to turn on your pump and aerator so that the chemicals will be bubbled off, which is most common issue in municipal water. Always remember that you are required to aerate the water whenever you need the addition of more water to your system for the uptake or evaporation. Addition of 5 ml of chlorine remover to 50 gallons of tap water will help in the removal of chlorine. The next is addition of plants. When your pH has been adjusted, the next step will be the addition of plants to the grow beds. Plants can be added into the aquaponic system even when the water is not that clean. The plants will help in cleaning the water and also absorb nutrients which are healthy for their growth. If the plants you are adding are all grown in soil, make sure that you remove soil as much as possible from the roots. For the plantation, you can simply dig the growing media up to 2 inches and gently place the roots and plants in them. Now you will need to return the grow medium. Make sure that you are not causing any damage to the roots or even covering the plant leaves. It is common for the plants to go into shock after the process of transplantation takes place. Mostly because of the shock, the leaves which are located in the outer part of the plant will start wilting and eventually die. You will be able to see new growth of the leaves after the plants get established in the system. The next important point is pH check. By making use of pH test kit, it is always advised to test the water when the pH range is between 6.5 to 7.5. It is the best time for the addition of fish. The next point is activation of nitrate and nitrogen cycle. For the preparation of your aquaponic system, in order to lend support to your fish, you will need to start with the establishment of beneficial microbes and bacteria which will help the conversion of waste products of ammonia into the bit-sized chunks of that the plants will be able to absorb. For this, you will have to add ammonia into the water in your tank. For a small aquaponic system with 100 gallons of water, you will have to start with 1 cup of ammonia. After that, you can add 1 capful of ammonia every day for 15 days. For medium aquaponic system, which have 500 gallons of water, you must start adding ammonia in pints. You can add 1 capful every day for 15 days in a line. For a larger aquaponic system, which have water more than 500 gallons, you will need to start with 500 ml on the first day, and you can add 30 ml of ammonia for the second day for 15 days. Make sure that you are checking the levels of ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate in order to see the cycle move further. Once you see that there is no ammonia or nitrates showing up, then it is safe to add fish to your aquaponic system. This process will take up to 15 days. Another method for the addition of beneficial microbes to your aquaponic system is to buy a microbacter. You can simply add 2 teaspoons of microbacter to 10 gallons of water and test the quality of water in order to measure pH, nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia on every day at the start, and after that it can be reduced once a week. The next is addition of fish. When your aquaponic system is having clean water with its pH levels right and also has microbes which are healthy who can deal with waste of fish and ammonia, the next step is the addition of fish. You can find several varieties of freshwater fish which will work on these aquaponic systems. The next important point is the combining the system. You will need to first stock the fingerlings and start seedlings in potting soil medium at the same time. When the seedlings became sufficiently big to get transplanted, the fish will be able to produce sufficient waste to support the growth of grow beds. The water has to be circulated through the grow beds for fish, irrespective of growth of plants in them. The most important thing in aquaponic system is management of your aquaponic system. The aerator has to run continuously in order to provide oxygen to the fish. The pump which moves water from the tank to grow beds will have to be fixed with a timer which turns it on for a short intervals. You will need to start experimenting with watering length and frequency. The main goal is to run it to the maximum so that the water can be maintained clean. But the growing medium should not be made wet excessively. The fish should be fed with enough food they eat for 3 times a day, each for 15 minutes. You can make a use of automatic feeders and many other components which will automate the system and make it streamlined. This is also will make the process of feeder easier. Make sure that you are not overfeeding your fish, as it will make them produce more waste, which will make the water conditions in the aquaponic system degraded. Now, let's discuss the benefits and disadvantages of aquaponics. The advantage of aquaponics is it is more productive. It produces more than conventional farming. The second is it saves water. It uses only 10% of water of traditional farming. The third is it needs less space. This can be all done in a fraction of the space. And the fourth is it is completely organic. The fruits, vegetables, and herbs which are grown in aquaponic system is completely organic. The fifth point is it has more profits. It has multiple revenue streams in the form of fruits, vegetables, and fishes. And the sixth point is it is less laborious. The maintenance is very less as compared to conventional farming. The next point is year-round production. Grow foods that are non-native or usually out of season all year round. The only disadvantage of aquaponic system is the electricity outputs are very high. This is because the fish tank needs to be kept in a certain temperature 24 hours a day. Now, let's get into the most important thing of aquaponic system is the cost. How much does it cost to set up an aquaponic system? The beds in an aquaponic farm that support plants are made using different types of material like thermocol, sheets, or gravel. The approximate cost of setting up an aquaponic farm ranges between Rs 5 lakh to Rs 15 lakh because there are different aquaponic systems in terms of size and commercial purpose. The first one is small aquaponic system, which is very less in cost, and the second is medium aquaponic system, and the third is large aquaponic system. The large aquaponic system is mainly for commercial purposes, so it requires higher amount of money. While the cost of setting up such farm is higher than conventional farming, the operational cost is much less than conventional farming because there is no need for fertilizers and other substances such as pesticides, herbicides, etc. An aquaponic farm also uses 90% less water than a conventional farm. The yield of an aquaponic farm is 2 times higher. The only limitation of aquaponic system is the farming techniques is one cannot grow underground foods and vegetables.